Welcome everyone to another NGA2D video interview. Today I am joined by Eric Hoxit and Mavi Figueres from GCR to discuss some of the recent collaborations with end users and the products that they've been putting out. So today we're here to talk about GCR and the relationship with IA coatings. So thank you for joining me, Eric and Mavi. And if we could go in.
Thank you.
It's great to join you.
It's okay. Thank you for being here for both of you. It's great to have two of you on for the call. So if we could start obviously going into your relationship with IA coatings. I've noticed recently you're supplying graphene for the Graphenoil. Now that I know there's a product that's been around for a while in the market. So how and why has this collaboration come about with GCR?
Well, we're really excited about working with IA coatings, and Graphenoil, we think, is one of the larger applications that we're going to see in this collaboration. As you mentioned, it has been on the market for a while, and it's got some pretty good market penetration. I know they're using the Graphenoil with at least a few large contracts. I mean, obviously, I don't want to step on their toes and speak out of school, but there are some names that we would all recognize that are using Graphenoil in their delivery vehicles. And so we're very, very excited to see the benefits that our ProCene graphene powder can impart to their product. It really came about just by Mavi reaching out and trying to build the relationship with them. We used to joke for at least a little while that we were probably the biggest distributors of graphene just in samples. We've sent out so much material all over the world just to get some good feedback and data and to get our material into the hands of people that are developing the applications. We've learned, you know, in the last couple of years that we've developed a pretty good knowledge of graphene using broad strokes. But what we're not is an applications company. We're not a polymers company or, you know, a resins company, or that's just not what we do. We don't have that specialized knowledge, and so we've been really good at building the relationships with those who do and who are specialized.
We've been actually looking for the longest time for this, and so having the ability to finally connect with IA, with Tracy and Tracy, to me was wonderful. I believe those guys are really the best people, nice, friendly, very open to chatting. I feel that they're incredibly loyal, and that to me is one of the most important things. And so it was wonderful having to, after years of trying, finally connecting with them. It was a beautiful. I think I did the dance and everything else here when I got the email.
I think there was a dance involved, yes.
Okay, thank you. So obviously I do a few things. If we focus on, since we're speaking about Graphenoil, so if we talk about Graphenoil first, obviously because you're now supplying graphene for it, where is Graphenoil actually used? You've mentioned delivery trucks, but what kind of like vehicles and like industries are we seeing Graphenoil being used, and are there any at the moment which haven't been explored that has potential for the future?
Well, there is an awful lot of potential for the future, but to address the first question, it is being used. It can be used in everyday motor cars. You know, mine has Graphenoil in it now. So I mean, it can be used just on the private side. It can be sold and is being sold at the retail level as well, just for individual use. But there's more to Graphenoil than just motor oil. Actually, if you don't mind, I'm gonna grab. I don't know how well you can see.
Can you see it?
There we go. I'll put it
keep
in.
it there, keep it there, yeah.
But there's Graphenoil has an all-purpose lubricant that can be used for, you know, even household things. You could think of, you know, anything that you could use WD-40 or something like that. Graphenoil can be used for that as well. So we have a lot of different options and a lot of different applications under that brand of Graphenoil. So everything, again, from, you know, motor oil lubrication to musical instruments. Also using it for industrial machinery. I know that they've done some testing with in a factory, I believe they're in Texas, close to where they're located. And you can correct me if I'm wrong.
They actually, it's a factory which they have to change the oil every 2 weeks. And so they started using Graphenoil, and it's been 3 months or a little bit more than that, and they haven't changed the oil. So it's going to be revolutionary, and it's also going to be wonderful for the environment.
Oh, brilliant. Sounds, yeah, sounds like it has some actual useful, good use, very useful. So yeah, thank you for mentioning about the Graphenoil. Now, is there actually any other products as well that you're developing with IA coatings? Like what or is the plans to do so in the future? Are we just, is the focus Graphenoil now, or are you looking to expand out, should I say?
Well, we'd really like to just be a general graphene supplier for all of their applications. They've already done some testing for some of their hard coatings.
Okay.
They do, they work with another company and apply Cerakote hard coating. They've already used our graphene, our ProCene as an additive for that. They've really dialed in on how to get a good suspension and get this incorporated properly into that product. We've already seen that applied to, I believe the first one were for motocross parts for a company called XC Gear. They posted up last week, doing phenomenally well. So they're getting great results with better adherence, a better luster, as well as just enhanced environmental toughness, you know, crack resistance, and so forth, as well as in their, they have a coating that they call Blackstone, which is a mil spec, so it's military specification, hard coating. Oh, there you go.
Oh, you can't see it.
Well, you see it in front of, there we go.
Yeah.
And that's useful for all sorts of different applications. As a matter of fact, I'll hold it in front of myself and hopefully it won't wash out. But for things like rebar for concrete reinforcements, they actually posted a video where they, you know, pounded that with a steel hammer, and the coating didn't crack. It doesn't bend. It doesn't crack. It's, you know, incredibly wear resistant. So it's really leveraging graphene to enhance all these hard coating properties. Obviously, you know, rebar is a huge market and a huge industry, and what we found from talking to folks in, you know, construction about some of the possibilities for graphene. The reason we were so interested in rebar as an application was that when you look at the life, the useful life of some of these concrete structures, really where the degradation starts is internally, when you start seeing oxidation of the rebar, the steel reinforcements. So if we can come up with a practical and low cost way of doing that, to, you know, reduce or eliminate the oxidation, we can, we think, enhance the useful life of these structures and reduce the costs and you know, the cost of maintenance over the life of the structure, as well as to, you know, bring down the cost of maintenance over the life of the structure. So it's a win for everyone.
One of the things that we started from the get-go was to concentrate more on construction rather than the sexy stuff that they call it, you know, the electronics and all of the beautiful batteries and, you know, life beyond, I'm sure. So we were concentrated. That's what I wanted to do from the get-go, was construction. We humans are never going to stop construction, and therefore, if we can do something that is better for the environment, it is stronger, it is cost effective, of course, you know, you have to join the two. So that's where we have been more gearing towards the human construction life, day-to-day life, not the sexy stuff. Of course, the sexy stuff is, I cannot live without my cell phone. I'm sorry, I have it attached to my jugular. So that's where we were going with when we got into this venture.
Okay, thank you. Yeah, you mentioned about it not being sexy, but the construction industry is one where we're actually seeing quite a bit with the graphene. So you know,
Yes.
it's going to be an area for graphene, regardless of how sexy or not it is compared to what other things. It's an important area, as you mentioned. So you know, you need to tackle the important areas which are going to have the biggest impact before the ones which would be nice, let's say.
And the fact that we can actually produce the amount that we can produce. So right now we are at 150 metric tons per month,
Okay.
which is unheard of. We have another class of graphene, that's our ProCene Nano. We also have ProCene, and ProCene we are presently at 15 metric tons, but literally we're about to move up to 150 metric tons. And we can, if we were to get an order for 1,000 metric tons, we can actually do that right now per month.
Yeah, we can scale up with what we have in place now. We just need to ramp up the production a bit to meet that kind of demand. We just need to grow the demand right now.
Yeah.
And so that's really where we're focused is, you know, I think everyone is.
Yeah.
Getting out there and trying to find these practical applications. And going back to what we were talking about with IA, with these guys at IA Coatings, that's one of the reasons we're so excited to be working with them. Is I really think that they've sort of cracked the nut on how to incorporate this material effectively and cost effectively and safely, and address really all of the major concerns that we've seen that have caused so much hesitation from commercial end users.
It seems to me that they've figured it out.
Yeah.
And every time I call them with a crazy idea, they literally that afternoon they call me and say, "We got it." So it seems to me that these guys, they have the magic touch.
Yeah.
They were able to do it. All of us have been trying for years and years how to incorporate, and these guys figured it out. And so, I mean, we are thrilled. We're so happy that after I proposed to them, they accepted. And so I'm happy that they actually, you know, took our email first and then call.
Well,
I have
good.
them at my speed dial.
I was just about to ask why you're excited about the collaboration, but you seem you've already expressed that.
I'm sorry, I get so excited.
It's all right.
They are amazing. They really are amazing. Both Tracy and Tracy. I think Tracy Jr. is TA, and the father is Tracy, and they both are. They pick up the phone all the time. They are so eager, and so we keep sending them graphene. You know, just yes.
They're smart guys, obviously, but they're good guys, and they're easy to work with, and they've been really responsive. And again, neither Mavi nor myself are a chemist, and so. You know, I think we spoke about, you know, our mutual friend, Adrian Nixon, who's a great science communicator.
Yes.
These guys have that ability too. They're really good at, you know, helping those of us who are not chemists to understand the broader strokes of at least the principles of how they're doing what they're doing. Obviously, they don't share the secret sauce, but they help us to understand how they're mixing the secret sauce.
Yes, I am. When I'm really stuck on something, and we have tried, believe me, we have done so many tests in Costa Rica and with so many companies over there with cement and asphalt and all kinds of, and we have hit that wall straightforward. I mean, even though I still have a very, very big nose, I've hit that wall straight. And you sit down and you're like, oh no. And then of course I call Adrian and I'm like, what am I doing wrong? And then of course my angel comes and saves us. So it's so wonderful to have this team here in the US as well, you know, that we can call them and I don't have to hit the wall anymore. Thank God, you know, my nose was a lot bigger, I swear. So it's wonderful to have these guys here.
Oh, brilliant. Oh, thank you. Well, for IA Coatings, we'll probably leave that one there. It's obviously clear that you are quite excited about the collaboration, and hopefully it's one that is going to progress in the years to come, and we will start to see more and more products and more developments for yourself as well, establishing into new end markets as well. So for anyone watching, I'm sure you can find out more about IA Coatings and GCR and the collaboration there. And if you're interested in the GCR collaborations coming out, there are a couple more that we will be discussing in these videos. So if you haven't seen them, should go and check them out. And until next time, thank you and goodbye.
Bye-bye.
Ciao.
Thank you.